Your academy sharing some experience from the Gada system, for instance? The best way that leaders are created in the Oromo society, in the Oromo nation, is basically the Gada system. And are you doing that?
Definitely. And what we are targeting is not to offer training based on the known literatures, and which is imported from abroad alone. And we use that one again. But we can also inculcate the leadership quality of the Gada system. For example, in the Gada system, leaders are democratic. And 21st century also need democratic leadership. In the Gada system, leaders are diplomatic. And again, in 21st century, leaders and politicians are expected to be diplomatic. And in the Gada system, leaders are focused on building relationship and synergy. Again, this century also needs collective leadership, not individual leadership, not individual mentality. In the Gada system, leaders focus on meta leadership, having broad vision and working for the interest of citizens. Again, this century and the interest of our citizens as well need those leaders who have broad vision and who have vision and foresighted, and who feels the pain of their citizen, who builds the nation, understand their nation. So this is a quality of leadership that we inherit from the Gada system, and we are inculcating this one in the training we offer. And again, in the department that we are going to create in near future, for which curriculum is already developed, is intercultural peace building, where Gada philosophy is expected to be taught. And again, in each of the courses, indigenous knowledge, indigenous leadership knowledge is inculcated in each course as common course, so as to inculcate the concept of Gada system, mainstream the concept of Gada system in our leadership delivery. So we are integrating the knowledge, the wise knowledge, the wisdom of Gada system in our leadership education training. And again, we are also conducting research, and again giving chance for other researchers to work with us and present their work on the knowledge to be shared from the Gada system. Research symposium on that contribution of Gada system for leadership development and national transformation presented by known scholars. And from that, we are going to again get more practice and inculcate in our courses and in our modules.
I understood that the Gada system is by far better than those leadership qualities of previous days, not the 21st century, of course. But is that in Oromo, that your medium of instruction, Oromo or English?
Now, it's different because documents are being produced in both ways. And we are converting from English to Oromo, and from Gada system we have an Oromo, and we are integrating this one. And recently, both of them are there, and in the future, the training to be offered for specifically for Oromia region will be administered in Oromo in near future.
It's a working language of the region.
It's a working language, and recently we are using both of them simultaneously.
Good. And recently you've trained some 1,800, close to actually 1,800 leaders. You trained them and attended, of course, the conclusion ceremony where Vice President of the Oromo Region State, Shimalis Abdisa, gave them directions. What kind of training was that?
That training was to create awareness on one hand, and to build leadership competency on the other hand, and help them to deliver service at local level, because our citizens are saying that the result of deep renewal is not properly implemented at local level. And this training helps leaders to deliver what is expected of them. And to this end, the course chosen for this one is about nation building. And because Oromo people have a great role in building Ethiopia, and again Oromo people have again a lot of contribution toward African development as well. And when we say nation building from global perspective and Africa perspective and national perspective and the local perspective, and again another one is on economic theme, because achievement in politics must be supported by economic achievement and in the area of entrepreneurship and creating a vibrant economy and big and sustainable economy that will transform the country and help our citizens to maximize the result of their struggle. And again, the training was delivered, and it is again being delivered on the leadership and the concept of Gada system and leadership and international perspective and leadership. On the other hand, Horn of Africa is also delivered as one subject, because the true leader is one who is not restricted to the locality where he is living, because we have to connect Oromia with the world, and we have to connect Oromia with Africa and Ethiopia with the world more strongly than before. To this end, we have to work on that. What are opportunities and challenges at Horn of Africa, and how can we maximize the benefit that we get from that one, and combat the challenge or tackle the challenge that may be ahead of us. So the training was offered and will be offered to broaden the thinking capacity of leaders at different levels than focusing on micromanagement or a small concept alone.
Who are the individuals who have taken this training? How did you bring them there to your academy?
The trainees are chosen recently and previously. Training has been started from the Urada level or district level, go like that until it reached federal level, until about 12,000 trainees will be addressed. And this training can also be has training of trainers as well, because they are expected to customize training to their area and offer training at Dorada level and at Donal and city level to create mobilization at public servant level, at citizen level, and the leaders themselves. And once this 12,000 is addressed, the next will be about 50,000 leaders at Kebede level, who are also
rural villages
at village level, who are closely working with our citizen, and where actual democracy is being exercised, where actual service delivery is on the ground. So in order to transform that level of service and boost up our good governance and strengthen the relationship between public institution and citizen, and maximize the entire development, capacity building endeavors must be carried out at different level. That's what we are doing.
Are they new leaders who came to power recently under the new leadership reform, or those who were working as leaders in their areas?
The training can encompass all of them, but at local level, majority of them at district level and at Kebede level, there are leaders who were assigned so far and working, and currently again, majority of them are new. So the trainees, most of them are about 70% are young.
The Keros.
The Keros and the Kares. And they are new appointed to the leadership position, majority of them. While actually the training can also address those who were on leadership position as well, because they can exchange experience and knowledge from one another. So the capacity building endeavor will include all of them, where the majority of them are new entrants.
But one thing I observed last time, when those who were trained for the last actually 15 days graduated, let me say graduated, the number of female trainees was very less. Only few females that I've observed in that conference hall. Why that? Why females are less?
Now, your observation is correct, and the number of female leaders are small in size. But in the second round, and again another round being conducted at Jimma, and in the second round, the number of female leaders are showing increments according to the data that we have. But with regard to women leaders, we need to go far to work in the same way as promised at federal level. But at Woreda level, majority of women leaders were at deputy leader position, where by reform conducted, and most that position was not there.
Okay, has been cancelled by the government.
Yes.
Okay.
So due to this, most of them come to public servant, and again after this problem is observed, Bureau of Public Service and Human Resource Development is again showing improvement as to how these female leaders also come to leadership position. And again, the intention of that reform was not to harm anyone. The government is strongly working on that to improve it. That's why we are also offering training, and the Bureau of Public Service is also working on that to make improvement at that level, together by working with ruling party and governments. But that was the gap. But yet, with regard to female leadership, there is a glass ceiling. Glass ceiling that comes still from previous perception that will not take female to the front. That problem was not yet avoided. So that is a glass ceiling problem, and horizontally developing women to the important place has also some limitation. In other area, female leaders are assigned in some challenging place, and soon after their assignment, and they are going to be taken from the post, which is again not a good practice. That because they need to be supported.
Sure.
And because it has a different lesson that can transfer. So glass ceiling problems, glass wall problems, and again assigning somewhere and taking from that assignment after some few period of time is some gap that need to be filled again by working strongly on one hand on building their capacity, on the other hand and helping them at leadership position until they overcome all the challenge by their own efforts.
Especially Oromo lacks that, and at federal level, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's cabinets, 50% of his cabinets are female, and that's a good, amazing thing that even the world appreciated, including head of the state, Sahle-Work Zewde, the president, the only female head of state in Africa by this time. Recently, I heard that in the training that you have offered to the leaders from district and zonal levels, you invited guests who gave trainings ahead. Yeah. Is that true? Who are the guys?
We have invited guests from different political parties, because our intention is not to teach a single party politics. Our intention is to teach a type of leader who can save the country and transform the country. So the previous thinking and the existing trends were avoided, and because we focus on acquiring knowledge and the skill from practitioners and high-profile politicians and the leaders in different party level, because what we need is their knowledge and the skill and their view as to how Oromia and Ethiopia need to be transformed. That's why
not their political agenda.
Yeah, and we focus on big agenda, not minor agenda that can inhibit us, our move or our movement. So known politicians and known leaders offer training on Oromo struggle and challenges and opportunities, and the issue of Horn of Africa, and the issue of nation building, and in economy and so forth. So far we have done that, and this training has raised the level of training offered by our academy, not only our academy, at national level. This trend has not yet accustomed.
Sure.
Only those leaders and one-party system are going to offer training. That is a usual trend, and now the usual trend, status quo, is transcended, and a new approach is being used and implemented, where we need to use knowledge and the skill of Oromo intellectuals, regardless of their political affiliation.
It told us a lot of things about leadership and how they're developing the Gada system as well. They're making, they're sharing the views in the Gada system to their content, and developing curriculum, of course, developed, and now to support the leaders in Oromia and Ethiopia, and the leaders who will be leaders for Africa and leaders for the world. Thanks for watching. Have a good time. Bye-bye.